Week 2 is here. Huge game for my Michigan Wolverines, the host of College Game Day at Norman, Oklahoma. That is a number 15 Michigan against number 18 Oklahoma. It is our only ranked game of the Week 2 college football slate. We got super spoiled in Week 1. And unfortunately, our Week 2 matchups just are not as great as we had last week in college football. So my advice this week, take it a little slow. I know I got beat up last week in college football, got way too giddy. And you don't have to have a million bets today because it's just not that good of a board. And we do have NFL back tomorrow. So you will have multiple opportunities to play some football bets tomorrow as well. But excited for the day today. As always, me and Ethan kind of dive into the slate time slot by time slot to kind of pick each other's brains, give out our leans, give out our predictions. And sometimes it helps us make bets and sometimes it helps us stay away from bets. So that's basically the premise of this live. And again, it's kind of for us. But if you guys have any, I see Asker in the comments getting a little naughty in there. Asker, welcome. But it's also for you guys. So if you guys have any questions on games, let us know. But yeah, before we get started, I will say I am pretty damn nervous about my Michigan Wolverines tonight. I will say in the last 12 hours, I have gotten a little more confident in Michigan. Again, I blindly bet Michigan every single week. So please do not trust my Michigan predictions ever. There's never any thought behind it. It's basically, is Michigan playing? Yes. Okay. Give me Michigan. But I've become a little more confident. I know they're getting dissed right now on College Game Day. They've been getting dissed all over the week on poor performance against New Mexico. They looked whatever. If you go back to like Michigan's 2023 season, they weren't where they won it, cheating or not. They weren't blowing out these teams. They were up 13 to 10 to Miami, Ohio at halftime. And that was the year Michigan won the national championship game. And that's just not Michigan doesn't blow teams out. Their whole philosophy is they just drain you. So it's never going to be pretty with Michigan. And I just have really gotten to like them more. But anyways, I'm done chatting. We'll talk about that game shortly here. Ethan, how are you feeling about Week 2 college football?
Yeah. I mean, they're kind of like the Chiefs of the NFL, talking Chiefs before we got on here, who obviously played last night. Chiefs don't blow anyone out. They keep it within a score. Usually they're ahead by a score, but, they find the way to win, which, similar to what Michigan does. But, yeah, really looking forward to Week 2. I was telling you before we got on, I have like a million leans and really only 3 or 4 games that I'm pretty sure I'm going to play. So I've kind of got to decipher between all the leans, find the ones I'm actually going to play. Because like you, I'm not trying to lose my entire bankroll on Week 2 college football. Played it pretty safe last week. Ended up going 3-3, so I just lost, a couple bucks on the juice there. Yeah, I know I got absolutely beat up last weekend, Saturday and Sunday combined, just all sports. But since September started, have not lost. So probably jinx myself there. But hoping I'm going to lose today. I'm going to have enough bets to where it's like statistically impossible to probably not lose one. But yeah, hopefully we can keep the positive winning rolling. Which last night I thought I was going to lose both. I needed that Kelsey or Pacheco touchdown boost, which looked just completely dead. Kansas City's offense was not moving the ball. And then Kelsey broke that one. And then I had the Athletics money line in baseball. They started up 2-0 top of the first. Then their pitcher gave up 4 runs before recording an out. And I was like, well, this game's over. Then they came back and got 7 runs in the third, never looked back. And yeah, so it was a good night. But hopefully college football follows suit.
Don't tease me on my A's. They're my favorite team in baseball besides the Tigers. They're going to be so damn good in like 2 years. Like this team is absolutely freaking loaded with young talent. They just got the Padres the Padres prospect, but it's like the number 2 overall prospect in the MLB. Like they're going to be absolutely loaded. I love that team. I love that team so much. They're so much fun to bet. Shea, Bangaliers, Brent Rooker.
Oh yeah. Nick Kurtz.
Kurtz.
Pause. Nick Kurtz.
Nick. That's a tough one there. They got who else do they have? JJ Bleday. They have Butler. Soderstrom, yeah. God, they're so much fun. Their pitching sucks, but they're so much fun. Ask her, is there going to be any twerking stream soon? Asking for a friend. Maybe we can bet on and do some twerking on here, but you don't want to see what I'm carrying back there.
No.
Sorry, I cut you off there.
Before we get off the A's, I went back and looked last night just because I think I've been doing really well in MLB lately. And 3 of my winners have been on the A's. So I went back and looked. I think I'm like 9-2 on the A's this year. Yeah. Almost always at plus money. So yeah, I love the A's too.
And they're always at the nightcap usually. God.
Yeah.
A's tuck me in. Or I usually just bet home run props, and I mean Langoliers had like 12 home runs in August or something crazy like that. I think even more than that. I think it was like a home run every other day. But yeah, they're a fun game. Anyways, let's get into college football. Let's start again. We go time slot to time slot. So let's start at noon. Fantastic noon slate. I know there's only one ranked game, and that is Michigan and Oklahoma at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. But noon does have some big rivalry games, some really close lines, some fishy lines. So let's just jump into the cluster of noon college football. Let's start with this. I'm going to start with an announcement with Illinois Duke. Okay. I'm starting here. I was on Illinois. I'm still on Illinois money line. I hate it. So I'm admitting it. I took Duke also plus 4.5. So I have a 4.5 point window. I knew Illinois is not the right play. It is 100% square. I just saw one of our tweets from our boys out here. It's one of the most bet teams, or most bet spreads of the weekend. Again, it makes sense. A number 11 team in the country is only a 2.5 point favorite against Duke. I mean, what are we doing here? But I truly believe Illinois wins this game. And like I said, Illinois is frauds, but I feel like there's multiple games down the season where they're going to lose just a really bad game. And I just don't know if this is the one. But I did save my ass. I'm trying to get smarter this weekend, and I did take Duke with the profit boost at plus 4.5. So if it's a 3-point Illinois win, I'm a double winner. Hopefully that is the case. But I did have to get that one off because I know you were on Duke in our Power 4 pick show, and I was on Illinois. So I have kind of middled my ground there because it's just such a square play to take Illinois. So I felt stupid. So I'm trying to middle the ground there. Do you have anything Illinois Duke?
Yeah, I love that you came back on Duke plus 4.5. I think that sets you up really nicely. So yeah, it's basically risk free at this point with the boost.
Yeah,
basically. Yeah, I mean, yeah,
with a decent shot of middling too.
Yeah, I see Illinois. I mean, obviously with the spread here, I see Illinois by 3. Like I said in Power 4, I know Illinois money line up to minus 150 is sharp, or at least was sharp early in the week. Yeah, I still lean Duke. Now that it's 2.5, it makes it pretty easy for me to stay off this game. And really, in years past where I was a little more out there, I guess I would just, I'm trying not to bet as much this year because I just got absolutely destroyed last year, and I'm trying to just mitigate my risk. But I would just take Duke blindly because of the fishy line, the plus 2.5 against the 11th ranked team in the country. But to be honest with you, I don't have any other reason to take Duke in this game. I love my scheduling spots. There's no bad scheduling spot here for Illinois. There's no bad scheduling spot here for Duke. Both teams should be focused on this game. There's last week they both got the job done in blowout fashion like they were supposed to do. I just have no reason other than the line is a little bit weird to back Duke. And I don't know anything about Duke, to be honest with you. So, or I don't know much about them this year so far. So yeah, I'm going to leave that one alone. Gut tells me it's probably Illinois by 3. I think you're going to end up, well, I won't say that, but
thank you.
That's what my gut tells me. That's what my gut tells me.
I did see on game day, again, I don't know anything about Duke either. I don't really know that much about Illinois besides that they're just riding off of last season's high. But I guess Duke has a stellar D-line, which could give Illinois trouble, which from a team that loves to run the ball. So it is what it is. Let's go to Cy-Hawk, the Iowa State rivalry game. I think this is a game I'm not going to bet. I think this is just going to be a game I'm going to watch. I really don't want to bet on Iowa with a quarterback that went 9 for 17 for 44 yards against, who did they play last week? Some
Albany.
Like, I'm not going to back. I don't want to lose money on that. And I'm just not going to back Iowa State because I think it's way too obvious. And Iowa State, Iowa owns Iowa State in this rivalry game. It's even when Purdy was at Iowa State, even when Brees Hall was at Iowa State, they just could not beat Iowa. And I don't know. Iowa has their number, but I'm not gonna. I can't back a quarterback that throws ducks, and I'm not gonna back Iowa State that is very, very public. So I think it's just a game I'll enjoy and watch. Hope for a tight game. The total at 43.5 seems pretty high for this game. That's notoriously low scoring, but again, I just think there's too many games out there to bet, and this doesn't seem like a good. I just don't have a good read on it. I think it should be a good watch, but it's not a game I'm looking to get involved in. I want to take Iowa. I think it's probably the sharp play, but I can't back a quarterback that's that bad, man. I can't do
Dude, we are maturing, I think.
it.
I'm so happy you're not pushing me on to Iowa this morning, because that was one that I was kind of going to wait to see where your head was at. But yeah, I am in the exact same boat. I like Iowa. It's one of those games where I know I'm going to be like, why the hell did I not bet that when Iowa is winning 17-0? But yeah, at this very moment, I don't want to back Iowa. I know on that same tweet you mentioned with Illinois, the Iowa State was getting some love, but I feel like, that was just on one book. I feel like Iowa's definitely getting love elsewhere. They're almost like, feels to me like a public dog. People going back in the history, seeing they've won 6 straight in or at Iowa State. And again, I mentioned on Power 4, but I thought last week was the time to go against Iowa State, and they absolutely dismantled South Dakota. So, I think the spot was worse for them last week than it is this week. I really don't want to fade them again. And yeah, I really don't want to play on Iowa, but that's the only way I would look. I don't have an opinion on that total. Obviously, 2 years ago, that was the highest Iowa total ever. But, things have changed a little bit. So, yeah, lean Iowa for sure, but not get involved. Thank you for.
You know what?
I'm glad. Yeah.
We're getting old. Yeah.
This is why we do that.
Hopefully, I get old enough in time to collect my Social Security. Yeah, that again, I'm gonna watch it and tune in just to see, what's going on here. I know I watched Iowa State week 0. Did not tune into Iowa last week against Albany. I mean, who would? And I'm not an Iowa fan, but I'll be interested to see how that game goes. Another game that I do have a bet in. In my opinion, I still think it's the sharpest play of the weekend, and that is Baylor against SMU at SMU. SMU is number 17 in the country. SMU is 2.5 to a 3-point favorite in this game. I mean, I took Baylor. I think Baylor wins this game outright. They're probably they're probably my favorite dog. But for the value, I have one other dog that I really like the value on. But I think Baylor wins outright. I actually got them early in the week at +4.5. They are +3 right now. I also teased Baylor in a 2-team teaser to +8.5. I have a really hard time seeing them lose by 8+. And I'll give you my other leg for that later. But yeah, it's Baylor. This is a game that I probably should stay away from, but I mean, I think they win it outright. The line is fishy right off the gate. It dropped 4 points since Sunday. Baylor lost that game, and then they still got 4 points. Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense. So it's got to be Baylor, and I don't love it, but it is probably my. I just said I don't love it, and it's my favorite bet of the day. So that should tell you something. But yeah, I think Baylor gets it done outright. So I have them +4.5. I have them +8.5 in a teaser. I think it's Baylor all day.
Yeah, I like Baylor quite a bit as well. I think I missed the number. I think that's probably going to keep me off of this game. And also, again, like outside of the fishiness of the line, there's not a ton pointing me towards Baylor. Although I do want to fade SMU on the year. So, that's the difference, I guess, between that game and the Duke-Illinois game, is I actually have a team in there that I'm looking to fade long-term. But, yeah, I think I missed the number here. Not sure if I'll play Baylor. 64.5. It's a high total, but I kind of like the over. Baylor and Auburn both put up well over 400 yards against each other last week. I think it was here. Let me check. Where'd that just go? 415 yards for Auburn, 483 yards for Baylor. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, Baylor's quarterback had 419 passing yards in that game.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Like, I think this is a complete shootout game.
Yeah.
Which makes me nervous. On the +2.5 in a shootout, you know,
Yeah.
I feel like those games usually come down to the last team with the ball wins.
Right.
I like your teaser a lot. I do think it's a one-possession game for sure. I would think your 4.5 is good too. You got ahead of that move, so I mean, even if that loses, you got some CLV if nothing else. But yeah, I think at this point on the 2.5, I want to bet it. Maybe I'll get in live if I can get like a.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, if SMU could go up 10 or 14, get over a touchdown, I'd probably take Baylor. But that's one, yeah, I'll probably just leave off and try to live bet.
Yeah, I forgot to mention I am 1-0 in college football this week. Took Northwestern last night on the spread. Yes, Northwestern spread against probably the worst team in football in Western Illinois. No sweater. So glad I won that one, and glad I backed the terrible Wildcats. One other game at noon. If you have anything else, please let me know. UConn, Syracuse. I'm not going to bet it because of this last second line movement, but UConn was a 6.5 point dog. I'm seeing a lot of guys that I trust on UConn. I'm seeing money on UConn. The fact that it moved to 7, I'm not going to touch it, but I do have a risk-free parlay of UConn plus 7.5. But yeah, I would lean UConn, but I'm not. Again, way too many good games. We have NFL starting on Sunday. I just don't feel like getting involved on the Huskies versus the Qs or the Orange game. So I lean UConn, but it's just not going to be a bet I'm gonna place.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. That's one I'm kind of tempted on, but if I bet that, then I would have to go bet Iowa. I'd have to go bet the others we just talked about. So yeah, definitely lean UConn there, but not going to bet it. I do have a couple other leans in the 12 o'clock.
Go ahead.
So this is where my issue is coming into play. Like, I want to fade Florida State because I think everyone's going to be on Florida State. They're playing East Texas A&M, 44.5 point spread. I don't really have a reason other than the fact that I think public is going to be on them after their win against Bama. They have Kent State on deck, so it's not like they have a look ahead. But it plays true for that game. It plays true for I don't love the Penn State one.
Yeah, my dumbass took Penn State at the spread last weekend, only for them to lose by a last-second touchdown.
Right. The Texas San Jose State game is interesting because I would expect Texas to bounce back, but also San Jose State lost as a 2-touchdown favorite outright at home. Makes me feel like they're putting a little bit of effort into Texas this week. So for that reason, I'll stay off.
Then again, Arch loves beating up these terrible programs. So.
True.
It's the only time he's good.
His entire college experience is coming in with a 40-point lead and just putting the nail in the coffin.
One career win is against UL Monroe.
Yeah. And then this is a 12:45. I think I mentioned this on Power 5, but Utah State as well. I might have to hang off that because the line just keeps going up. It was 31. It was
28.5 when we talked about it.
Yeah, now it's climbing. So, but man, I just can't see Texas A&M winning by that much with Notre Dame on deck. But it's one I'll probably have to stay off. I think there's one game in that scenario that I'm looking to play more than the others. But for what it's worth, I would lean fading Florida State, fade Texas A&M. For now, there's more coming up in the later slates, but on the spread, of course, they're not losing outright. But
yeah, I'm glad you mentioned the Baylor SMU high total back and forth. That one could be a fun. I probably won't just because, again, a lot of games and the NFL starting Sunday, but it could be a fun over bet. Throw $10 on it and just hope for just cinema, which I think we might get. I could see like a 38, 35, 42, 45. Like I could see just an absolute. So again, it's probably not a smart bet, but it's a fun bet. And if you're just looking to fun bet, that would be a great one at the noon game, the over SMU Baylor. 3:30 now. Again, stop me. I don't have Virginia teams on there. I know we have 2 decent Virginia games. So if there's any other bets on there that you want to talk about, let me know. 3:30 is a bad slate. bad
Yeah.
slate at 3:30. We do have it starts back up at 7:30, but I don't have a single bet at 3:30. There's a couple games I'm looking at. I guess the big story, or one of the big stories, is Oregon, Oklahoma State. Those coaches have been going back and forth all week. OK State saying Oregon pays for wins. Oregon saying that OK State just doesn't care. But Oregon's a 27.5 point favorite in that game against Oklahoma State. Again, I'm not going to bet it, but it's an interesting game. I could see Oregon running up the score. I could see OK State keeping it close. I don't know how that game's going to go. But again, good storyline, fun storyline. It's been in the news, both coaches bantering back and forth. We have Kansas, Missouri. I really liked Missouri in this game, but that line has moved to 5.5. It was at 6.5, so I'm going to stay away from that. Again, public loves Kansas, but that's just because they think that Jalen Daniels is the next Jaden Daniels, and that's just not the case. Then we have Ole Miss and Kentucky. That line dropped 2 points. It's now 8.5 in favor of Ole Miss. Again, I just don't like those. I don't like any of these other games. There's a couple other ones on here. I know a lot of people are on Cincy. I've seen some people on Clemson, Fresno State, Oregon State. I could care less. Do you have anything at 3:30 that's piquing your interest?
Not a ton. Yeah, I don't love the games that you just mentioned. I have nothing Oregon, Oklahoma State. Dug into that one, just didn't find anything. Would lean Kansas over Missouri, but not even close to a bet. And then, yeah, I have absolutely nothing. Ole Miss, Kentucky. I know people like Kentucky. For me, my trouble is that Kentucky won last year and took away Ole Miss shot at a conference championship and a potential playoff berth. So, I think Ole Miss definitely wants their revenge in this game. So I have to stay away from that. I want to play Clemson off the loss, but Troy's actually a formidable opponent. They're not some weak team that gets blown out. So laying, over 4 touchdowns, not something I'm looking to do there. 2 more of those fade games that I'm considering, but probably won't play is fading Georgia against Austin Peay. That's 48.5 point spread. They have Tennessee and then Alabama on deck. So 2 huge ranked SEC matchups. Just beat up on Marshall, but only won that game by 38. So yeah, I don't know. I can't probably play it because if I play that one, I'm just gonna have to play the rest. And then the one that I actually am looking at playing is in the 3. Well, actually, one more before I get there. I would look to fade Georgia Tech. They're laying 37.5 to Gardner Webb. They beat Colorado last week and now have Clemson on deck. So, I think Colorado's obviously a team you prep for with all the hype that surrounds them, even without Hunter and Shadur. And then obviously Clemson. So, I don't know. I just don't see Georgia Tech, blowing Gardner Webb out by over 5 touchdowns. But the one I do want to play is probably East Tennessee State with Caden McNamara that you brought to my attention, plays there against Tennessee. Because Tennessee, you and I are both kind of down on this year. Yeah, they went out, beat Syracuse last week, which is a game that they didn't take lightly. And now they have Georgia on deck. And you're getting East Tennessee State plus 40.5 with a quarterback that once played
One a
for
Big Ten.
Michigan. Yeah, he's obviously he has not had a great college football career, but he's like a Trey Lance. Like the dude's still talented.
Yeah.
It's not like you're getting some no name like the coach's kid coming out and playing for ETSU. Like he's a decent quarterback, so I kind of like it. I might play that. I just don't think Tennessee's also they lost a corner and a D lineman last week, and one of their other starting corners is already out with an ACL. So they're down their top 2 corners and a D lineman. 40.5. I kind of like it.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to get there, but I like the thought process. Yeah, the corners being down is no problem because Cade can't throw the ball more than 12 yards. So
True.
Uh,
Yeah, and the second string corners would be still too good to
yeah. One other one, 3:30. This is my actually group of 5 pick to make the college football playoff, and that is Navy. Navy's home against UAB. I've seen a lot of people on Navy in this game. I've seen a lot of people on Navy's team total over on this game. The over-under is 58.5. I love Navy. Again, don't know if I'm going to get involved in a Navy UAB, but from what I'm seeing and guys that I trust and people that I follow, it sounds like Navy's going to win this game like 48-10 or something. So it could be a potential bet. But again, a lot of games on there. It's probably not a very interesting one to bet. Let's continue down the slate and move. Again, if there's anything before this, South Florida, Florida. I saw South Florida's quarterback suspended the first half, I think. Is that true?
Yeah.
Line moved up a point in favor of Florida. Again, just way too much going on for me to bet that. I think Florida honestly wipes, but I kind of want to fade it now because of the quarterback suspension. But I'm not going to mess around with that crapshoot.
I'm in the same boat. I would want to fade South Florida after their shellacking of Boise State last week. But then again, I mentioned after this, Florida has LSU, Miami, Texas. There's 3 teams ranked in the top 7, and Texas A&M, a ranked team. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They just, like you said, there's too much going on there. I can make a case for both teams now fading Florida first half with the backup quarterback because that line's probably out of whack a little bit. Yeah, too many games, too many other leans for me to get involved.
Yep, I agree. Moving down the slate, Army, Kansas State. Kansas State looked terrible last week. Army is without their quarterback, but again, I think there's just too much going on there for me to bet. Charlotte, North Carolina. North Carolina only a 14-point favorite on the road against Charlotte, right down the road from them. Bill probably gets his first win there, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Bill pulls off another loss there.
Dude, this game has me a little bit in a pretzel too, and I think I'm gonna have to pass. But yeah, because my thing is North Carolina sucks.
Yeah,
that team, that was not just a fluky TCU got up and got ready. That team sucks.
They're going back to Gio Lopez too. After the only success they had on offense was that 7th-year quarterback who actually put together a nice drive. They're going back to Gio Lopez, who threw, I think, like 50 yards and a pick.
Yeah. And now it's a short week, so I had to play on Monday night. There's no way I would lay it with North Carolina on the road. No chance. But I don't think I can take Charlotte. But I do think North Carolina, I hope they come out and blow Charlotte out. And then we can just go back to fading next week because this team freaking sucks.
Oh, God. Bill, I mean, he's just, God, his man boobs look terrible too.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay, so this line's dropped 8 points or 7.5 points from open.
Yeah, which I think open was summer. I think once they were starting to get shellacked, it probably fell immediately.
Yeah, they're 21.5 on August 31st, and then on September 2nd, 17.5, and then still on September 2nd, 14.
I sure wish I had that 21.5 in my pocket.
Yeah. That would be nice. God. I don't know. I honestly kind of hope they keep losing. But I'm down if they win one game and then we just keep fading them after they get a little bit of hype. That would be decent as well.
Right.
Continuing down the slate, let's just get into 7:30. Doesn't look like there's anything entertaining at 7. 7:30 is where all the action starts back up again. Our one ranked game, we'll save it for last, but that is Michigan, Oklahoma. Let's go to the 7:30 Boston College, Michigan State. I'm still on Michigan State. I have them in a parlay on the money line. I don't know if I'm going to get more involved than that. It's a risk-free parlay too, so it's not like that big of a deal. I honestly think State rolls, though. I think State gets the win. Over-under is now at 45.5. I know you like the under. I think just Michigan State money line in my parlay is going to be about do it for this game, but I do think State wins it outright. I don't know if they beat them by 3.5. But yeah, I think I would lay the extra juice to take -175 MSU money line. That's pretty gross. I don't want to touch a total here, but I know you like the under. Is there anything else you like in that game?
Yeah, I don't hate your money line. I think State wins. Now that's 3.5. I like it a lot more because, like I said, I could see 24-20 is the score I have in my head, and maybe that's because that's what it finished at last year with Boston College winning. But yeah, I still like the under. If you can get over 44 points, I think the under is the play, and that's where I'm looking. I think 24-20 is like max. Like I could see like a 17-13. I could see like a 21-17, somewhere in that range. I just don't think. I don't think there's going to be a lot of scoring, so that's going to be one play that I'm going to have. I'll probably just go lock that in sooner rather than later. Yeah, I think if you can, as long as you can get above 44 and a half, we'll say. I think the under is a good play.
Yeah, and last year, what was the score last year? 21-24?
24-20.
24-20, and that was with Castellanos, who now is, I guess, pretty damn good at Florida State.
Right.
So
And a worse state defense.
Yeah. Also, little less inexperienced Giles, where he has a little more, experience now. But yeah, I get it.
Good show.
Hey, at least he wasn't throwing picks.
Exactly.
What are these guys on in this game? Pretty split. One bit on the other. Okay.
I do have a quick 7 o'clock.
Go ahead.
K-State and Army. K-State 17-point favorite at home. K-State lost, obviously, in Ireland to Iowa State, then came back, played North Dakota, only won 38-35. So clearly I chose the wrong Dakota to face against the team returning from Ireland, backing South Dakota against Iowa State. But I just think the only issue here and why I'm not playing it is because Army got upset double OT by Tarleton State. But I think Kansas State comes out and just rolls Army here. I think it was just a bad spot last week coming home from Ireland off a loss where you were favored. But, K-State, they were in the rankings for a reason to begin the season. Army clearly struggling. And, if K-State gets out running, gets an early lead, it's very tough for Army to catch back up. So I know people like K-State as well, and I agree with that, but probably not enough to play it.
Yeah, I like it. I know I briefly touched on that, and I said, yeah, K-State. I've seen a decent amount of people on that one. But it's also, I also kind of like just, I don't know, like, I did it with UNLV after week 0, after a terrible game against Sam Houston State. I faded UNLV just because or not Sam Houston State. They played like Idaho State. They were a 31.5-point favorite. I won that game by 3. So then I was like, oh, UNLV is overrated and trash. And then they beat Sam Houston State easily and covered. But I don't know. Right. Like, does Kansas State continue down this road of just mediocrity? I don't know, man. I don't know.
Right.
We'll see.
Like I led Florida State from last year.
Yeah. Where it just kept going.
Yeah.
It just kept going.
Could be. They could be.
Yeah. Another game, 7:30 that I really like. I think I'm going to lock in both of these bets. Mississippi State hosting Arizona State. I think I'm locking in Mississippi State plus 6.5. I think I'm locking in Mississippi State money line. This is my upset. This is my up. Besides Baylor, which again, it's a 3-point dog. This is almost a touchdown point dog. Upset of the day for me is Mississippi State money line beating number 12 Arizona State outright. I love it. Unfortunately,
so I have no opinion. However, I have heard that Mississippi State is both sharp and public, which always is a red flag to me.
I don't know how they would be public other than I don't know. I feel like Arizona State, they got to be. Let me check here. I feel like Arizona State, they got to be jumping over that. I know the Mississippi State just beat Southern Miss 34-17. People look at that score and like, ooh, but Mississippi State was only a 15.5-point favorite, so they covered.
Right.
Arizona State.
That game was close at halftime. I think Southern Miss was up.
Yeah. Arizona State was a 30.5-point favorite against NAU. They won 31-19 or 38-19. So they gave up 19 points to NAU, did not cover the 30-point line. I don't know, man. Like, what's the public on here? I just can't believe people are back in Mississippi State. Yeah, I mean, on DraftKings, I was expecting Arizona State at minus 6.5 to be much more than 55% of the bets.
Yeah. I'm seeing Mississippi State 77% tickets, 92% money. So,
jeez,
public and
who the hell is? You must have all saw my TikTok.
Spreading the word.
Let me see what Pickett has here. God, I was thinking Mississippi State was going to be just no one's touching. I mean, when's the last time Mississippi State was even remotely good? When Dak was there? I mean, this
Right.
team is terrible. And Arizona State, obviously, riding the coattails of their college football playoff run last year. We saw how well that worked out with Boise.
Right.
Let's pick it at. Pick it. All right.
CBS is showing 66% public.
Okay. It's loading. God, that was surprising to me.
Yeah. That makes me nervous.
Okay. Wow. 67% of the bet, 62% of the money on a Mississippi State spread. What the hell? Okay. Well, apologize to anyone that watched that TikTok. I don't think I'm going to bet it anymore. What the fuck, man? Come on.
I know.
Okay. Well, this is why we do that. So, shoot. That was one of my favorite bets. I didn't place it yet. That was one of my favorite ones I was looking forward to. Darn it. All right. Any other 7:30s before we talk about Michigan, Oklahoma? I know, is Vandy Virginia Tech at 7:30?
Yes.
I can't see that one on my book.
Yep.
What's the
Let's move to 2.5 Virginia Tech.
Okay.
I like it. I'm probably gonna be on Vatech money line.
Yeah. I liked Vandy, but I understand bounce back spot for Vatech, who didn't look terrible in that game. They were close. Yeah. I know they lost by 11, but they were close in that game. Yeah, I'm seeing. Okay. So pretty good money coming in on Vatech here. 35% of the bets, 58% of the money.
Yeah, I like Vatech. Vandy has South Carolina on deck.
Oh, yeah. That's the game they're going to win.
I believe they have South Carolina.
Okay, yeah. Vandy money line next week. That's how we roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, wasn't South Carolina kind of the team that ended Vandy's magical run, I think? It was like after they beat Bama, and
I don't know.
I remember that being a big game. And
didn't Vandy beat Virginia Tech last year?
Oh, I don't know.
I think they did week 1.
Yeah, they did, because I was on Vatech. Minus 13.5, and they won outright. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so we got the revenge factor here.
Yeah. I'm on Vatech. Yeah, I love that. Okay.
God damn it. Do I have time to drive to Maryland? Good gravy. Okay, I like it. And then let's get to is there any other 7:30s before we get Michigan, Oklahoma? Why do I keep saying Michigan State? I don't see anything else. So you want to talk Michigan, Oklahoma?
Yes, unless you want me to throw in a 7:45 before we do that.
Go ahead.
Okay. Bama, UL Monroe. I think I'm going to get there with Bama in some capacity, because I'm seeing UL Monroe getting 82% of the public money at plus 35.5. And it's just everyone wanting to fade Bama off their performance last week. I think everyone was watching that game. Yeah, I just have to play Bama. Also, UL Monroe upset Alabama in Nick Saban's first year as a head coach at Alabama. And if that word is spreading, then people are going to be like, oh, if they can beat Nick Saban, they can beat Kalen DeBoer. I think I'm going to play. I don't know if I want to play full game or first half. My gut tells me to play full game because I think Bama will just run up the score. But I think first half would be the sharper side, because I think they're going to want to get running early. But also, first half always scares me, because if you make one mistake, it's like you're really fighting an uphill battle. But yeah, in some way, I think I want to play Bama.
I like it. We're getting 2 points of discount here. 3 points of discount here. It's 34.5 on DraftKings.
Oh, yeah. Like, I'll take 5 touchdowns for Bama for sure.
Yeah.
And then if I'm wrong, then I stay off of Bama for
minus 118 though. So
okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I like that. God damn it. Okay. Yeah. Let's do it. Sure. God. Let's do it. And then I just saw my buddy's action just popped up on my phone, and I just saw he took Iowa plus 3.5. I'm not gonna do it, but I'm super tempted. God,
Why bet it? If Iowa State gets up early, take a better number.
yeah.
Then you
There
can at
you go.
least rest easy that you have a better number than 90%,
Yeah,
100%.
you know what? That's great. I'll make sure I'll send him my better number as well, just to rub it in his face. All right, let's do it. Michigan, Oklahoma, only ranked game. Hosted College Game Day here in Norman, Oklahoma. 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time kickoff. Michigan's back up to a 5.5-point dog. I don't know why my wife is blow drying her hair with the bathroom door open. So if you're hearing that in the background, that's what that is. God dang it. I just saw on one of the guys we follow, Fox or whatever, Michigan is one of the most bet teams on the spread here at plus 5.5. I hate it. Seeing 59% on DraftKings on Michigan spread on the public bets. Let me check Pickett real quick. I mean, again, I don't want to go too in depth into this game. You probably more want Ethan's response here. It's 50-50 pretty much on spread bets here. So I don't know what that guy was talking about. But I'm on Michigan. I have a 50% boost. God, can you shut the fucking door? I have a 50% boost on Michigan money line. I have a 50% boost on Michigan plus 5.5. And then I did tease Michigan at the plus 8.5 with Baylor, or Michigan plus 10.5 with Baylor plus 8.5 and a 2-leg teaser there. But I mean, yeah, I have zero confidence in Michigan. I'm super scared about this game, super nervous about this game. But the last couple times I have had zero confidence with Michigan. They beat Ohio State 4 games in a row. They won the national championship game. They beat Alabama twice. So it just seems every time I just really don't have any confidence, they just surprise me. And I know we can't just talk about years past because this is a completely different team with freshman quarterback Bryce Underwood. But Michigan, again, as of late, has kind of rolled the SEC. I know they beat Bama twice. I guess that's the only time. But Bama twice. I think Oklahoma is going to be a very mid SEC team. I have them right around 7 wins. Maybe they get to 8. But, I mean, it's every single year for Oklahoma. They don't finish inside the top 25. So, I don't know. I mean, I'm taking a shot. I think Michigan definitely can win outright. I think it's going to be a huge uphill battle. But I do think they're going to surprise some people. So, give me a shot. Michigan plus 5.5. Michigan money line over under. No bet for me. I could see this game being 17-14. I could see this game being 28-31. So no bet for the total. But yeah, I took a shot on Michigan again. Don't listen to me though. I'm a crazy Michigan fan that only bets Michigan. How about you?
Yeah, I don't have any better opinion here. I'm taking the coward's way out. With all the sports books around, this is obviously the marquee game of the day, so you get a million boosts on this game alone. And I don't have a side that I feel strongly enough about. I still lean 51% Oklahoma, 49% Michigan. So I'm just going to boost my way to a no sweat, make a couple bucks, a half unit or whatever on Oklahoma. Or if Michigan covers, then it's no sweat. I push. So unfortunately, that's the way I'm going to play it. Which, it is kind of a coward's way out. It's kind of wasting all those profit boosts, but to me, it's like, well, I'm not going to waste them. And if I don't have an opinion, I'm just not going to force it and then put, 3-4 units just because I have that at my disposal of boosted plays on something I just don't like. So for me, that's the way I kind of end up playing it. It adds up long term, but I know it's probably not what the viewers wanted to hear, but that's the way I'm playing it.
Yeah, no, that's completely fine. Like I said, I'm only taking a blind shot at Michigan, and I hope it hits. I'm excited to watch the game. I'm super nervous about it, like I said, but I guess we'll see how Michigan battles. I know the last year, the first time they played a ranked team, it was, I think, number 3, Texas, and they got absolutely pummeled, but that was also with a quarterback who was a Make-A-Wish kid. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm excited. A couple other games I just want to briefly touch on. I don't have any bets on, but interesting lines. We have UCLA, UNLV at 8 p.m. Eastern time. We have San Diego
Speaking
State.
of quarterback, Make-A-Wish quarterback.
Yeah, there you go. Except that guy should be a middle linebacker. I don't know what he's doing. San Diego State, Washington State is a 1.5-point favorite for Washington State. And then the tuck me in, please save me from going into debt. Sam Houston, Hawaii at midnight. those are 3 games I have on my radar. Kind of like the over in Hawaii, Sam Houston. Again, don't twist my arm at a midnight bet, especially if I'm in piss. Kind of like San Diego State against Washington State. And then I do unfortunately lean. You know what? We'll go UNLV. I was going to say UCLA, but I'm going to go the FSU method here. And I think UCLA is going to continue to plummet downwards. And I can't trust a quarterback that only chases money. So I'll go UNLV for the late one. San Diego State for the late one, and I'll go the over in Hawaii's Sam Houston.
Yeah, I looked into these games, but I honestly don't have much of an opinion here. And again, I'm gonna be at a wedding tonight, so who knows? Maybe I'll be plastered and come home and throw some money on one of these games and
That
wake up.
Hawaii Sam Houston game is gonna have your eyes.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Google. Yeah,
100%. So yeah, I would probably lean UCLA. I would probably lean Washington State. But yeah, probably no play for me in these games.
Yeah, I don't have any official plays either, but yeah, I'm excited for the week of college football and obviously the big game tonight. Is there anything else you want to add on before we sign off here? Before we leave, just to give our favorite bet of college football week 2?
I think I'll give 2. I think my 2 favorites are going to be Vatek moneyline and Boston College, Michigan State under 45.5.
I love it. I like it. Mine is going to be Baylor plus 4.5. I think Baylor wins outright against SMU. But anything else? We do have NFL starting tomorrow. Don't know if we'll be live or not tomorrow morning. I know you're going to be recovering from a wedding. I'll probably be still in piss from how much money I lost today. But we do have NFL. Our NFL episode is out over on our page, Better and Green. We preview every single game. We give our predictions. We give our bets. So make sure you do check that out on Better and Green. We also have UFC tonight. Ben has a video out there on the UFC preview. We have soccer going. We have baseball going. We have it all going here at Better and Green. So make sure you do like, subscribe, and follow along. It greatly helps us continue to do this. But Ethan, good luck today. Do you have anything to say before we close out here?
Yeah, we'll see how tonight goes. I do plan on being available to do a live tomorrow for NFL Week 1. So hoping to see you tomorrow, but Wyatt, I'll let you know for sure. And then, as always, follow us on Twitter X at eBamers26 at Worst Bets, where we do post our official plays over there. So check those out. Have not broken down the baseball slate yet, but I will look into that. Might have a play there. Running extremely hot in baseball. I think I've one loss since August 12th. And I haven't had a ton of plays, maybe 10 or 12, but running really hot there. And then last thing, I will just say I have 2 solo game breakdown videos as well as our entire intentional lounging week 1 for NFL. I have a breakdown on Steelers Jets and a breakdown on Sunday night Ravens Bills. So check those out as well if you're interested in just those solo games, kind of a deeper dive into those. Have official plays in both those games as well.
Yeah, it's a great time to be alive. College football in full swing, NFL just getting started. God, these are the moments we waited for. So I'm excited that they're finally here. And hopefully you guys can all have yourself a profitable weekend, profitable Saturday. Enjoy it. And then hopefully we reload tomorrow for NFL Sunday. But until then, guys, we'll